Hello and welcome to the TechBytes audiocast. My name's Tim and I'm from the OpenBytes blogazine, and with me is Dr. Roy Shestowitz from the TechBytes website.
It's Friday night and I'm gonna get sauce. I fought the troll and the troll lost. I fought the troll and the troll lost. He tried to boss me and was outbossed. I fought the troll and the troll lost. I fought the troll and the troll lost. Underneath his creeper bridge, hoping goats will cross. Quoting Ashcroft and Tom Ridge, I fought the troll and the...
Well, thanks to Tom Smith as usual for the intro music. I Fought the Troll. You can find more of Tom Smith's work at tomsmithonline.com. So this is show 6, and we'll get straight into today's news and information. We're going to be looking at KINect again. It's been busted open, and Microsoft seems to be backing off from their original claims of legal threats. And we've also got looking at the price of the KINect, and it's alleged that the KINect costs less than a family restaurant meal to make. So we're going to be looking more info on that. And like reoccurring piles, the Kin is alleged to be made a comeback. Verizon has got some news, so we're going to be mentioning more details on the Kin. We're also going to be celebrating Torrent Freak's birthday. It's 5 today. Open Respect v Fedora. There's is this a storm in the teacup, or is there something more to it? And is Fedora going to go with Wayland in the future, like Ubuntu? Tux is teaching maths to young people. We're going to be looking at a software package that is aims to teach mathematics to younger computer users. And Facebook is arrogant enough to feel that it's got a Gmail killer on its hands. All this and some things from Roy. Also, we're going to be taking a look at Fedora again. I'm going to be mentioning Fusion Linux 14, the good, the bad, and the mono. So with that, I'll pass over to Roy, and I believe he's going to start off with a few topics that has grabbed his attention today.
Thanks very much. Hi, everyone. I think I want to start actually with the KINect. It was mentioned by Tim just a while ago. One of the most recent things that happened is an employee of Google, his name is Matt, he basically has proposed he put a bounty on something else to do with the KINect. Now he proposes building a framework for constructing applications for Linux that work with the device. The bounty is $2,000, and it's supposed to target Linux more than any of the other platforms, which is kind of interesting. But as you've heard, we finally got the answer about the cost of making this device. And as I sort of imagined, it's not really being sold as a loss, especially if the mass manufacture these things. My response to it would be basically we shouldn't buy any of these things and try to get it to work with Linux too well, because it's going to be of benefit to Microsoft, which will find it a lot easier to convince game makers to target the Xbox 360 and try to make the games more advanced and use new interaction methods based alone on the sales of the KINect. So it's kind of a disappointment for me to hear for the first time now that the costs that Microsoft would pay for making each of these units is actually less than the price at the store. I think to me that's the reason to stop basically mentioning this product and try to kind of say it's been breached, and if a person doesn't want to use his Xbox, it will be nice to use it on Linux, but that's about it. We shouldn't buy these things. But the main issue I want to try and talk about today is Fedora 14, because I had my second installation of it today. And later on in the show, we are going to exchange some thoughts and ideas, me and Tim, because he's been playing around with Fusion. Is it called Fedora Fusion 14? Is this the official name?
Yes, that's the official name. Yes.
And Fusion is a subject we covered on the first show, actually, when we had an interview with Brandon, who's the ambassador for Fedora. He's located in Canada. And he explained to us that Fusion has all kinds of issues not just to do with the fact they have binary-only applications, but also to do with the fact that the Fusion project has some fairly controversial packages, and I think Tim will talk about this later. What I will talk about, just say it up front, although I downloaded Fedora 14, both the GNOME and the KDE versions, I only have had time to install on a couple of machines the KDE version. It's actually called the KDE Spin, which I think it's kind of weird because I think in the past at least they gave an equal treatment to the different desktops, but I'm not exactly sure. And now they basically characterize these things as spins, which is less official and less kind of supported, at least officially. And yeah, we have all kinds of news to go through. Although we did a whole show yesterday, and we made it the longest show ever so far, which is over 2 hours of just us talking without any planning or scripting or any of that sort of stuff. We did cover lots of the things that had happened so far, but I have quite a lot of stories I want to go through. I think Tim has his bunch of stories, and we should pass it on to him now to get us started with the topic. So.
Right. Well, what I'll do is I'll just go over some of my the quick headlines. You mentioned the KINect at the beginning, and I think you're right. I think we don't need to drag any more stories about the KINect out unless something groundbreaking happens. I think you're very right in what you said about not encouraging the purchase of these devices, especially when it transpires, according to RegHardware.com, that these things are costing $35 to build. I believe the price of the KINect is about 140 or 120 pounds. So if you're looking about £30 to build them, that's quite a lot of markup, even when you take out all the middlemen and advertising costs out of that. So it does look as if there is a very large profit margin for Microsoft in respect of the KINect. And at the end of the day, I question what sort of uses the home use desktop user would get from one of these contraptions or sitting on your desktop. So we'll skip over that. I'll just briefly mention that after Microsoft's original threats of law enforcement and all sorts of other things to developers that are we're looking at making open source drivers, we see that they've backed away from that now. I don't know if there was any comment you wanted to mention on that, Roy.
I was going to say something about the components. I think you probably should correct me because I haven't looked at the specification of the of the KINect, but I think it's mostly cameras inside, and there is some mathematics being done to extract things from the camera and processor. And I think that the components you have to consider the price of would be the patents usually that are assigned to the components in the device. Well, if the main thing you have there is just cameras, and you know that they can make them for just a few dollars, then you wouldn't expect it to cost so much. But when you talk about phones, I think you're talking about the regions of $150 or 150 pounds. I'm not sure for some of the very advanced phones. But that's because you have all kinds of units to do with communication. You have all kinds of patent trolls running around and collecting fees for the different components. If I assume correctly that the KINect is mostly just a bunch of cameras from taking shots from different angles and trying to do some mathematics on them, you wouldn't really expect it to cost more than just a bunch of fairly sensitive cameras, and that's about it. So you say it's costing about £65 according to the register? Or?
No, I've got on this site Reg Hardware, which will be linked in the show notes. They've got the costing at £35 for the material inside it, yeah. And they have the RRP at £130. So with 95 difference, it's obviously there's quite a lot of scope there for a good profit. It's actually got a very good photograph of the thing to bits. Somebody's taken one of these KINects to bits, so you can briefly look over the components, and it has various links to hopefully explain better what bits are in it. But yes, you're right. From just looking at it now, it's mostly cameras and sensors. There's a motorized pivot on the stand, I assume. which would maybe add a minute to the cost, and there's some sort of cooling fan in it. Just looking at the photograph, but yeah, effectively is a set of cameras. I think.
What's actually important about it is any person who